I moved over to Poplar Island in 1936. It was a retreat for the Democratic Club from Washington, D.C. The senators and congressmen and the president used it as a getaway. My parents were caretakers. My father managed the island. My mother took care of the house and cooked the meals for the guests, and I helped her serve. Now there's very little left of the island where I lived, and it was a huge woods there, forest, and we had large skeet range, and it's all gone.
The earliest recorded mapping of the island was back in the middle 1800s, and at that time it was about a 1,000-acre island. Supported a community of about 100 people, a school, a church, a couple small farms, and over time it eroded away to back to the point in time of the mid-1990s. There were only 4 island remnants measuring less than 5 acres. And there was a sawmill that was out here, and once they started removing the trees, the roots of the trees provided a way of holding the island together, and once the trees were gone, the time and tide just took it away. Natural erosive processes, sea level rise, and then subsidence, where the land is actually sinking.
I think that restoration is wonderful. My hometown disappeared. Now it's coming back.
Current cost is $668 million. It's cost shared 75% by the federal government and 25% by the state of Maryland. And it's a kind of a win-win situation. We're recreating an island out of dredged material. We've got shipping channels that lead up to the Port of Baltimore that have to be dredged every year. The movie Field of Dreams, the theme of the movie is "If you build it, they will come." And that's exactly what has happened here. Coming out here and seeing, what we're doing and the numbers of wildlife. I come out here for work, but it's also enjoyment to see the birds and hear them.
Poplar Island is a good example of what is destined to happen. You see the real tangible impacts of sea level rise on a lot of these islands. Smith Island, Holland Island are certainly really good examples of just how these islands in the Chesapeake erode away. Is Poplar Island a cautionary tale? Perhaps, but it's hard to say. It appears to be one that we've learned a lesson from, and if anything, we're using it as an experiment to see what we can do after we've lost that kind of history.